Today, we're continuing the belting process of the nuclear power plant, and just to recap, we belted all the inputs and outputs of the nuclear plants, feeding all of these bottom manufacturers into them, then connected these manufacturers to the ones below them. We then belted these caterium smelters into these constructors to make a crap load of quick wire, which then feeds all the way over here into these manufacturers here. But we have a little problem. I kind of used up all of the space, completely forgetting about the silicone, the uranium, and the limestone, which means we're gonna have to create some room to fit those belts in. But how are we going to do that? I have no idea, but we're gonna have to figure something out. So this has got to go just temporarily because I need to make some space. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I do need to belt 2 more materials into... Actually, no. We need to belt all 4 inputs. So I need to get some belts going for uranium. I need to get some belts going for limestone or sulfur. I probably said that wrong in the intro. And silica. So these 3 resources are really easy, but it's getting them into these manufacturers that's going to be the problem. So I guess I'm going to start by getting rid of all of these belts. And then we're basically going to start from scratch. Hopefully it won't take too long. Hopefully I can figure something out. I won't have to do anything with these belts though. I just need to bring in additional belts. So this right here might actually become super massive because not only do we need 16 belts for caterium or quick wire, we'll need 16 additional belts for each other resource. So that is something like 48 additional belts per manufacturer. How the hell does anybody do this? That is crazy. So I guess I'm just gonna get started by getting... I'll probably go ahead and dismantle up until this point. So I'm gonna get that done, and I don't know how we're gonna do this. We might have to widen this up. We might have to start from scratch or even start utilizing the manufacturers up here. I don't know. But let me go ahead and get all this stuff torn down. So I'm wondering if I'd be able to utilize like this empty space like on top of here, because I would really like to try to avoid widening this space, because then I'd have to widen all of the spaces. So I wonder if I go like this. Oh, that's wrong button. So if I go like this, maybe put that there, and then, okay, so I can put it here. It'll look a little weird, but what happens if I do this? Ah, yeah, see, I can't level it out, so, of course, I could do the short trick for these. These will also need some more stuff, too. So right now, all we have is encased uranium cells going into this one, but we still need encased industrial beams and electromagnetic control rods. This can probably be fed by 1 belt, so that's not going to be that big of a deal. These look like that's the same, because see how it says 5 per minute, 3 per minute. So we might get away with only having to do 1 belt that just splits off into 16 different ways. But we'll come to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. This is what we're focused on today, or at least right at this moment. I would like to get a lot more belting done than just this. I could do something like this. Oh no, I would have to go this one taller, but something like this, obviously backwards, because if I try to belt through here, it's gonna clip. So we'd have to go... But even then, like, the ones right here will get in the way. I'm thinking we're going to end up doing a lot of clipping, but hiding it and making it look good. So if you guys are triggered by that, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna make it look good. So like if I did this, I would end up blocking it off and then just putting conveyor wall holes and stuff like that, making it look nice and detailed and like it belongs. But let me try to figure something out here. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. I actually have kind of a good idea. So I'm gonna need, no, never mind. I was gonna say for the uranium and the sulfur, I could just do floor holes. Whoops. I could do floor holes right here, go directly through the ground, and then that'll deal with the ores, like the sulfur and the uranium. And then I could just come down here and then belt them all accordingly. But looking at these, I need 3 slots for this. So if I did like 2 in the middle or something like that, it would block one of the other 2 resources that I need to belt into these. So what to do? So I thought I came up with a pretty good idea, but the general consensus here is I need so much more room. So there's no shot I'm going to be able to fit 16 belts times 4 down this little corridor. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to delete everything from this level up, rebuild, and I'm going to raise these up a little bit, and we're going to do all the belt work underneath. I think that is going to be the solution to this lack of space problem. Luckily, I haven't belted any of these, so this should be a pretty easy fix. The bottom row I'm just gonna leave alone though, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have enough room here. So I'm not super worried about this, but if need be, I can always go under the platform for the belts for the bottom level. So got a nice clean slate. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting these up here and catch up with you guys in a sec. All right, now I just need to figure out how I want to belt this. So I'm thinking the quick wire, because all 16 of these belts are quick wires. So I'm thinking this half, so these 8 right here on the left side are gonna go towards these ones, and then these ones are gonna wrap around and go over here. And then for silica, sulfur, uranium, that'll be a little bit easier because I can do one belt for like multiple manufacturers. So we're going to start out with the bulk right here and then work around the bulk, or in the middle or whatever, with the other stuff that doesn't really require as many belts. Sound like a plan? All right. I really like this design. So I'm probably going to end up adopting this for other sections once we get there. But I'm going to go ahead and do up the other side, and then I'm going to have to do my little trick that I did in the last episode with the conveyor lifts, like the snapping, clipping and stuff like that, and then build around it, make it look good. But I'm going to go ahead and do up the other side, and then we'll be able to continue belting the rest of this. And probably down here. I don't know. Right here, I'm actually using the short conveyor lift trick. And then basically doing this, freezing it, going up like this, and then placing them lined up so that I don't have to do the whole trick every single time. I just already have these lined up now, so go like this, go up, go over, right there. And then one more, and then it'll be super easy to do the short lift trick, just like that. I'm so glad that I don't know if I was told this trick or I discovered it myself, but either way, it is one of the best tricks in this freaking game. All right, officially caught up to where we were before I tore this down. So now we actually have to start belting from these ones, which will be a little bit easier because I can do belts through the middle and raised up belts, and then have them line up with these belts and have a giant conveyor belt highway. And I can also utilize the space above the manufacturer. So I'm gonna see what I could workshop up. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm gonna see what I come up with. So looking at this, we've got these complete. We need to have 8 belts going into 16, so that's gonna reduce the amount of belts we need there. And then I need to get uranium going and sulfur. That's gonna be kind of a tricky one. We're gonna just belt the machine. We're not gonna belt from the miners. We'll worry about external belting once we start getting to the end of the project. But obviously we'll make the belts so they're able to be connected to. So I'll make like an end point where I can easily connect some uranium to and stuff. But what I've got so far is this. So I was able to get about 8 belts right here, but I'm trying to figure out how I want the belts to come in from. I'm not sure if I want to go underneath or if I want to go above. I'm thinking above because there's a lot more space, because right here is where the space ends as opposed to like right here. So I might go above, I don't know. I could probably fit 8 belts across here to do the other 8, because I've done half of these so far. So I need to get these 8 down there as well. And I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go on top. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was not able to use this space because it was off alignment just slightly. So I wouldn't have gotten the belts as straight as they are now. But, all right. We only have one more input to worry about. And it's gonna kind of be a tricky one because we don't have a whole lot of space. Oh, actually, we do. I should be able to fit 4 belts right here. Let's check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, sick. All right, so that's the plan, because this is going to be either for uranium or limestone, and then the belts down here are going to be for uranium or limestone, whichever isn't running through here. So I could do 8 belts over here, and then let's see if we still have the space over here. We do. Sick. All right, that is very good news. And then when we're done with these, I have to actually... Dude, this is gonna look so sick. I know there's clipping right here, but it's organized clipping. That's the name I'm going to be adopting. So we got some organized clipping right here. I don't know if I'm actually going to box this off, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the look of it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I'm curious of you guys' thoughts of this design. I don't know if that's going a little too far, but I like it. And we're gonna do the same thing over here, so it's gonna be like one big row. But if you watched my last episode, I boxed it off and made like a 4x4 grid of conveyor lift inputs, and you guys can go back and check that out and compare. So structure around it or no structure around it. That's the question here. I like it either way, but this way makes it so it's less work. But let me know what you guys think. All right, let's get started on these belts. The only issue that we're gonna have is the first 4, because these belts are already in the way. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get the belts from over there through here and come down here. I might have to do some trickery because we're trying to go from the last input. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. I guess I could utilize this space a little bit. I'm gonna have to start color coding this. My favorite part about this build is this single belt. This is for the silicone. Because we only need 600 for all 16 of these, so I'm just splitting them all off. It'll probably feed the max belt, so like 780. That way, I don't really care about the miners or the constructors halting. I mean, I'll probably underclock it to 600, but we'll figure it out when we get there. But I'm thinking I'm gonna bring these two out here, and then I have no freaking clue what I'm gonna do here. Because it's completely boxed in. Like, if I bring this down, this is in the way, these belts are in the way. So I've got to come up with something clever. And even if I want to clip it up here, see, it clips into that. So, yeah. Maybe I should have raised these up a little further, but damn, I don't know what to do here. Okay, I think I have something figured out. So if I bring this down like this, I'm gonna have to clip a little bit while I set this up. But we go into splitter, and then we're gonna bring, no, that's not what I want. I don't want it to connect. There we go. All right, so bring this over. Bring it all the way up to there, and then micro nudge it up 1. I don't know how this is gonna look. Oh, it doesn't auto connect. Okay, maybe if I go like this, it'll auto connect. It doesn't. Damn, I thought I could micro nudge it and do the whole trick. Ugh. Okay, so I have to figure something else out. I need this belt to connect over there with no clipping. I have absolutely zero clue how I'm going to do this. Okay, I think I figured it out. So I am going to use, I am going to use this spot. This is not actually going to clip, but we got to come up here about right there. Man, I actually don't know if this is going to be viable. Actually, I don't know, man, I don't know. But we're going to try it. We're going to try, see what it looks like. What I'm hung up on right now is this. So, like, when I eventually do this and bring this down or up or whatever, we're going to have to, see? So I'm gonna have to figure something out here to get it so where it doesn't ugly clip as opposed to organized clipping. Yeah, I might have to do something a little different right here. All right, so I was able to successfully get these belts going. So I have this one going to the end, and then obviously this one is mirrored. But what I did here was another short conveyor lift trick. I had to place a bunch of these things down to get the snap points right, but we are golden. And now we should be able to take from here. Okay, so we're gonna still have to worry about this one. Not sure how I'm gonna go about that though, because I can't do a belt like in between here. I'm sure there's some way I could figure it out. But then it's going to mess up everything down there. So this row is going to be a little tricky. Everything past this, though, is fine because we got clear path. But yeah, it's this belt that's causing the issue. So I need to figure out a way around that. Ha ha ha! No clipping. This actually went on blue. Okay, so now I have to figure out exactly how I want to get this up here. Actually, no, it's going to go down. So these I do not need. And now the tricky part here, I mean, we're going to have to probably just live with, oh, come on. Well, that sucks. All right. So I'm going to have to do the trick again, but a little bit further back. So we're gonna go like this. So that is where I had it before. So I'm gonna come in just one and then go up one. Because what that's gonna do is allow this belt to go through here. And then I should be able to curve down like so. Of course it's... Oh, it's because it's on default. Ah! Okay, so we're gonna have to roll with default right here. See, I'm not a huge fan of these curves, like the curve down or whatever. I would rather use these to like do a decline or an incline, but there's absolutely no other option right here. So, and it's just with this belt and then the one that mirrors it. So not a huge deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and mirror the other side. Just gotta remember how I did it. All right, went ahead and mirrored the other side, and now the rest of these belts should be smooth sailing, and we'll be done with these manufacturers, and we can move on to more constructors or even refineries or something. Oh, and I do also need to reconnect all this stuff, so damn. I thought maybe I can connect it, like, I don't know. I'll figure that out after. Okay, that is a lot of belts. So I'm thinking I am not going to do any conveyor lifts, and I am just going to straight up just bring all of these belts across the top of here. I haven't really decided yet, but I think this is going to be probably the biggest belt highway I've ever seen. Like, this is going to be so many belts. Like, I'm almost thinking I'm doing something wrong, but we got everything belted down here with almost no clipping. There is a little bit of clipping here, but we're gonna be hiding all this. Like, everything that we build up and complete, we're actually going to turn into something that looks like that. So technically I could do that with this one. Once we're done with these manufacturers, I'm pretty sure, no, I think we need more manufacturers down the line, but once we get done with each, you know, section, I'm going to build it up and make it look like a building, and then eventually this place is gonna look like a sick-ass city, and I'll have walkways, roads with trucks going all over the place. I'm very excited to get this done, but it being such a huge project, it's taking a while, as you could tell. But we got this done. I'm gonna figure out how to get the belts belted that way. It shouldn't be too hard. I just need to bring the platforms out, and then I'll delete the platforms after. In fact, these platforms could probably go now. These were also temporary foundations, but I'm gonna keep them from now because I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna need them. So until I'm sure I don't need them, they're gonna stay there. Look at this monstrosity. That is so many belts. And that's only just this top layer. We have this bottom layer under here too. I had to do like a little curvy bit right here because I didn't want to use lifts for that because it's only just one level up. There was really no point to doing lifts. So I just made sure they all matched up evenly because I couldn't keep it at this level because I had the 3 belts on this side and the 3 belts on this side that are at the same level, so they would have just ended up clipping. But oh man, all right, I made this platform and we're gonna bring these belts all the way over here. I'm almost tempted to just make a blueprint, but I don't think it'll be too hard to belt this up manually. So I say I remember 2 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 7, 7, 7, 7, 2. Okay, so that shouldn't be too hard to do. This middle one is just kind of alone. So what I'm probably gonna do with this is turn it into like a walkway. So if I were to go like this, something like this. And then, dude, I think that would look so sick. So you just go like this. Oh wait, no, it would have to go down a little bit further. But how much space do we have? Not a lot. So I wonder if we were to... I don't know. This is stuff we'll worry about later. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm going to go ahead and get these belts wrapped around to the edge of the plant. So if you see over here, it stops right here. And we're going to be bringing in resources from over here. So... oh, that's limestone. I was like, dude, I already have sulfur, but no, that's limestone. Remember, we were using concrete to mess with the building over there. So, I actually have to tear that down. But we can actually use this platform to, like, route the sulfur and the uranium, because the uranium's going to come from over here. So you can actually see it going into the awesome sinks right now. You have a train that goes around, grabs all the uranium from all over the map, and it brings it here. So we have a lot of uranium to work with. But all right, enough chit chat. I'm gonna get these belts curled around here and see what happens from there, I suppose. Oh man, this is so many freaking belts. But I built this little walkway to kind of utilize the blank space in the middle. I think it looks pretty cool. And I actually brought some staircases to either side of these, and you can walk up. Pretty cool. But for the belts that are off the edge, I'm going to go ahead and get them lowered down to ground level. And this one, I am going to have to do the whole organized clipping. I also want to make sure that I can still fly. But I'm going to go ahead and get these belts lowered to about right here. Did I already get this crash? Damn. Anyway, that's the plan. It's probably going to look pretty awesome. I was not anticipating this many belts for this build. Like, look at all this over here. That is so many belts. Like, holy crap. But I think it's going to look so cool. I'm excited to get this complete. The abomination of organized clipping conveyor lifts has been complete. So now I just need to feed stuff into this. I was thinking of a mistake that I made already. And that is not belting some of these over here, because these are going to have to be silica, not silicone like I was saying before. But yeah, we're gonna need to get some silica belted over there. But that shouldn't be too hard, and I'm not even gonna worry about it right now. But I'm thinking it's only 4 belts, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean that won't be a hard task. So we're gonna put that on the back burner for now, because next up we need to start belting assemblers. And I've looked this over for a little while, and I think I'm going to delete the bottom row. Obviously it's gonna be a hard time if we try to belt / pipe any of the stuff on the bottom row, because everything's in the way. So we're gonna start belting from like the second floor of stuff. So like these blenders on the bottom will be deleted. These I'm actually going to get rid of right now, and then we're gonna start using these ones up here when the time comes. But we need the space, so I need to get rid of these as well. I got rid of the platform right here, but I forgot about this one. Cool. All right, no more platforms. Look at this monster freaking belt highway. That's all for just one, or I would say 16 manufacturers, but that's only for one resource. So all of these belts are just for your uranium fuel rods. That's crazy. And then this is only like 16 per minute, because there's 1 per minute and then 16. All of this just for 16 uranium fuel rods. That's crazy. But we need to get 8 of these belted over. So we already have the encased uranium cells from these. Oh, wait, no, this is, I have this at the wrong, so I need to change these. So this is actually supposed to be, this. Yeah, so I'm gonna copy paste these real quick so that when I do get to the production phase of this project, we're not messing anything up, because I will forget about this and they will stay like that, and I will spend hours trying to figure out what the hell is wrong on top of the hours that I'm already going to be spending trying to fix any issues, because all of this, I don't even know if it will 100% work. It might not. It probably won't. So we'll have to go around and go into maintenance mode as soon as we start this up. That's going to be a stressful episode. But we got the encased whatever beams. What are they called again? Wait. Oh, never mind. Encased uranium cells. That is what we are good on here. So we need the encased industrial beams and the electromagnetic control rods. And it only needs 4 assemblers each. So one will go into 4 of these and then split. Yeah, basically we're gonna split one assembler into 4. And then the next assembler into another 4. You guys get the idea. But I have to do that for both encased industrial beams and electromagnetic control rods. So we're gonna go ahead and try to workshop something up there, and we've got plenty of space. It looks like we should be good to go as far as that regard. We're only gonna have space for 2 belts right here. Maybe we could do 2 belts on top, but that only helps us with 4 belts. I need 8 total, so we're gonna have to figure something out here, and I'll catch up with you guys when I do. So I think for this, I put this up here, and what I was gonna do was divide them up, so like after the amount of manufacturers that these were going to feed, I was essentially gonna divide it up to try to make it evenly, but I think I'm just gonna connect one belt. I'm gonna merge 4 of these into one belt and then just do one belt all the way down that divvies it up. We'd have to wait for it to fill up a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. So the next one is going to be one of these, but we're gonna basically raise it up. So we're gonna go above this belt and go through here and do the same thing right here. I should have centered these though. I think that would have looked way better. So yeah, I'm gonna center this. My intention was to go to the side right here. That's why it's kind of offset. But I'm gonna center this and do up the other one. That way we have all the inputs good to go, and I just have to connect the assemblers to the belts down here. Okay, this could not have worked out any better. So I centered this up like I said, and this I don't even need belts for. I just go like this, and it auto snaps. Boom. No belts required. So that's kind of sick. But I want this to end at the same point, so we're gonna go ahead and toss one of these here. There, now all we have to do is merge these 4 into one belt, and then these 4 into one, or no, these 4 into one belt, and these 4 into one belt, and then just bring those belts down. All nice and neat. We'll bring them probably down the center here, and then bring them over the pipes to make it look good. Again, this is just a temporary platform so I could run the belts. But yeah, it's working out nicely. And then we're gonna be pretty much done with manufacturers until much later in the build. So awesome. I know that these manufacturers have taken a couple episodes now, but I have an excuse. Look at this Look at this. That's my excuse right here, belting all this crap. But the majority of that is done. And then I think after that, we're going to have to start on blenders and refineries, which the refineries are going to end up starting up here. But we'll have to run the pipes first to all the... So, yeah, but getting ahead of myself. That's going to be for a later episode. I'm going to go ahead and complete this out, and then we'll decide what we're going to do next. All right, that was a pretty simple one. So 4 going into here, yeah, you guys get the idea. But all I do is bring this down and then put them in a stacking formation and put them all over here. Now we are done with these 2 levels of manufacturers. And boy, was it a freaking doozy. I think it looks pretty good though. With all the walkways and stuff like that. I don't know. This looks really cool to me. It's my favorite part. The hallway. So I think next on the list is going to be these manufacturers. So this also needs a buttload of quick wire, cable, and high-speed connectors, or circuit boards, sorry. So I think I am going to, at the very least, get 5 of these belted to over here. Because for the electromagnetic rods or whatever, we're using an alternate recipe, the electromagnetic connection rod, so that it reduces the amount of materials we need. So but that does require high-speed connectors, so we have these manufacturers pumping out the amount of connectors we need for this. So we're gonna go ahead and belt up some of these manufacturers into the assemblers that we just belted from. So that should be fun. So to start, we're gonna have to get 5 more up here. So we're gonna go ahead and just bring this up. I am going to leave some room underneath. So, oh wait, I need this to be lined up with this. And I don't know where it is. Actually, we'll go down, and I always line this up down here first and then I raise it. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna get these set up and hopefully this will go smoothly. Now I'm not gonna fill this entire thing up. I'm just gonna do the 5 that we need for now. And then I think that's pretty much it for manufacturers for a long while, but I guess we're gonna find out. I would expect a lot more than what we have here, but who knows. That looks good. So for these, I think I'm gonna do a little belt that's gonna be level with this, and I'm gonna bring it all the way over here. Or actually, we'll probably have to go above the foundries, which we might have to get rid of for now. But this should be pretty easy. I could probably... Ooh, that'd actually be pretty sick, having the belt go, or the belts go over top this middle so that it's like a tunnel instead of just like a hallway. Looking through my recipes, I don't even have the electromagnetic control rod alternate recipe, so I'm gonna toss up a MAM if I can. Yeah, right here. I'm gonna grab that recipe real quick. Man, I haven't put up one of these in a while. Connector. Oh, I don't even have it. Oh, well, that sucks. So connection. Oh, okay, I do. I just wasn't typing it in right. Okay, this is the recipe. I was gonna say, man, like, I know I have all of the recipes, I just haven't learned them yet. But I was trying to get this set up. Yeah, baby, right here. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Actually, I'm gonna copy, paste. We're not gonna do any of the overclocking right now. I will go through every single machine at the end and make sure everything is clocked where they need to be. But this is what I have just for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. That way, we don't have any platforms, because eventually I'm going to turn all of these into like skyscraper looking buildings. So all of the floaty bits isn't isn't gonna matter soon anyway. And next up, we need to put 8 of these, or connect 8 of these assemblers to 4 of these. So this will be super easy because I'm just gonna do a splitter, raise it up, and then each of these outputs are gonna come underneath and come down here. So I could probably, hold on. So it's not lined up or anything, so I'm gonna have to do some trickery. So something like, so if we get this lined up, actually, no, I would need a merger, not a splitter. Line that up. Hope if I lined it up correctly. No, it does have to, oh, no, it's two into one. So yeah, it does need to be a merger. It's getting my logistics confused for a sec, but yeah, I'll just do something like this. Or actually, I could probably just do a lift. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring it up here. And then I should be able to just do this. Maybe not. Okay, so this needs to go over just barely. So we're gonna lock that and then go over just a micro nudge because it should be connecting. So it's just a matter of getting it closer. There it goes. There's the click. There. And then, oh, actually, because I kind of wanted these to come in from the sides. So, okay, I have a better idea. So if we get out the merger again, make sure it's facing the correct direction. Go like that. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. If we're putting it over here, I'm going to need the green arrow to be facing right. So I'm going to lock this. I'm going to line it up first. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That whoops. That should allow for me to go like this. Nope. Okay, so this needs to go over, micro nudge, and now it should work. Still doesn't. Damn. Let's try again. Micro nudge over 1. That. What? That's crazy. But once we get this one down, we won't have to do this for the rest of them. Because we can just line it up with this one. No big deal. All right, there we go. There's the click. You want to hear that click? Cool. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring these down. So it would be these 4 right here and these 4 right here. So just so I don't get them confused, I'm going to delete these end ones. Now we bring this down here, point it that way. And then that goes in there. Bring this down like so. And then this goes in there. Now it's not centered or anything, but I'm not really concerned about that. I just don't want any major clipping. And it looks like it dodges all the antennas. So I'm gonna set the next 4 up, which is gonna kind of suck, but easy fix. So what I'm gonna have to do is bring these out so that I can fit those in there without clipping. So I'm gonna fix all this up and see how it looks. All right, that worked out a lot easier than I thought it was going to, but we've got the inputs for these complete, so we're good there. Now I need to get the inputs for these ones. So we're gonna have to come from the foundry, and I was already thinking about this. So this is slightly lower than this, so I'm probably gonna just take out all of this and just kind of build it how I need it to be. So I'm probably gonna do a platform off of here, get some foundries in that section, and then delete the little gap right here again. That way we have some room for belts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all this deleted and get this more molded into how I need it. Nice clean slate. All right, gonna go. I need to delete these down here too. Probably not gonna use those. Look at how cool this looks. Now imagine roads and like pathways for trucks, and I want to get a train in here, and like, dude, this is gonna look so good. So look at this massive bundle of belts. That's crazy. I never thought I would be the one to do kind of like a mega factory, but I don't know, it's pretty fun so far. It's a lot of work, but super fun. So one of the things that I need to pay attention to is the inputs of these now. So I've been having the inputs face inwards, but I'm thinking I might have to turn these and give some space like back here, because we're running out of space to belt stuff. So I'm gonna have to start utilizing the empty spaces down here to like bring resources in, or even that way or something. But I think having the inputs facing this way is gonna be the way to go, because yeah, we just, so how many boundaries do I need? So there's some right there, and then we're gonna have to go into more assemblers. So we're not gonna get the assemblers yet, but we're gonna need at least 3. Let's see how much this will take. Actually, iron pipe would probably be better. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use iron pipe for this one. So we're gonna need a lot more constructors, so we're not even gonna worry about that right now. But I am gonna overclock so I know how much I need. Cool, so we only need 4 for that. And then let's see, fused iron wire. We're gonna do iron wire for this too. We're gonna overclock this because we're gonna have so much iron, it's not even gonna be funny. So that, just that 2 seconds put us at needing 16 more constructors. That's crazy. So for now, we only need these. I would like it to be kind of an even number. So we're gonna go 4. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter if we just, because it's 144, so we can handle all that with 1 belt. So not super concerned about that. So really all we need is 3 foundries going into here. Or no, constructors. Wait, I don't need any foundries. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, that's kind of sick, because I only need 3 constructors. Because I forgot I'm using the aluminum beams, not the steel beams. I don't think I have steel in any of this build. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. So, I guess we can just get rid of this and go right back to constructors. Hell yeah. So this is the part where we are getting super lucky, because these 4 right here need 3 constructors here. So that's actually sick. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn these around and possibly bring them in a little bit more, because... Wait, why is it red now? What? Okay. There it goes. Like that. And yeah, I kind of want to bring these in a little bit, because these belts are kind of in the way. So I think that'll be good, actually. Like right there. Yeah, we're gonna roll with that. That way we have at least a little bit of space over here, because we're gonna be doing, I think it was aluminum beams or something like that. Wait, where are they? Hello? Ah! I need to just go through and learn all the recipes, because this is crazy. I keep having to come into here. Beam! But I think it's recommended not to learn your alternate recipes until you need them. That way, if you need to select other recipes, then you have the options, you know? All right, these will be really easy to do. Ooh, actually, we might have to move these back. And I'm gonna leave some space for the conveyor lift, because is that gonna be enough room? No, so we need to go up just a smidge. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Okay, that should, all right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and move these ones back. I can stop lagging. That would be nice. All right, and then we can get rid of this one so I don't think I need it. And this is gonna be easy. Just these 3 into mergers, which goes into splitters. Yeah. So easy peasy. We're gonna go like this. And bring this. Actually, I could probably go. I was gonna try to go directly into that, but we're gonna bring it down like this. And then gonna toss some mergers down. Go like that. And like that. And then this is gonna go into some splitters. Ooh, but I'm gonna need space for the other. So hold on. I don't even remember what this was for. Encased industrial beams. Okay. So we're gonna copy, paste, paste, paste. This one we're gonna get rid of. We don't need it. At least not right now. So mergers, and then I wanted splitters, but I don't think that's gonna work very well because we're also gonna need to bring another thing right here, and we're not gonna have space for those belts. So I need to figure something out. I mean, I could just use these and just bring them up. That might be a lot easier. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Something a little like this ought to do it. So we got, I think these are supposed to be, no, these are, I don't even remember what it was. Wasn't it aluminum beam? Wait a minute. Beam. Aluminum beam. Oh, it's because it's supposed to be a constructor. Brick! Yep. Constructor. Damn. I don't know if I want to put constructors over here, though, because this is technically the assembler section. So I would like to keep stuff sectioned off. So I'm going to have to figure out a way. Ooh. I can come up and crisscross these. That'll look pretty sick. Or I was gonna say come off here, drop down this way, but that, I don't know, it'd probably look equally as cool. But I'll probably just do this because I only need 3 constructors. So 3 belts going over here, lifting up over here, coming over here, dropping down here, and then coming over here and into here. So yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna do that. But we're gonna have to do that in the next episode because we are out of time for this one. So if you did enjoy it, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel way more than you know. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll have a link for that down in the description, as well as a link to Discord if you feel like joining that. I also stream on Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. So if you're on YouTube at that time, feel free to stop in and say what up. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. It really means the world to me, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.